Hello, Vibe Tribe. Welcome back to the Daily Vibe, or if you're new, welcome to the Daily Vibe. I am back with the Affirmators deck today. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week. It's Thursday. Yay for Thursday. I think it's Thursday. Pretty sure it's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. Anyways, bit of a struggle this week. Like I said, these daily vibes just aren't about bringing positivity. It's about bringing honesty so that other people feel inspired to share their own stories or even to just heal from their own stories. And had quite the trigger this week, and it literally ramped up my anxiety, which I don't normally have. So I didn't know how to deal with it, and it was super crazy. Baby sibling just confirmed it's Thursday, so there you go. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Junior. Friday Eve. Side note, even though it's not October yet, we get a blue moon next month. That's right, 2 full moons in 1 month. So for all of you that did not know what a blue moon is, that's what a blue moon is. Let's see, what do we have in the Affirmators deck today? Oh, we have a bonus card. You know what bonus cards mean? We get to pull another one. Story of my life. It just seems very appropriate. So let's see. We'll read this one after. So, story of my life. Oh, look at that. It's a snake bringing a mouse flowers. Do you trust the snake? Do you? Do you? Because, you know, they eat mice. It's a tough one, but let's see what it has to say. As I tell myself the story of what's happening in my life, I choose to make it the kind of story where even the tough parts have a sort of inner beauty. It's ultimately a happy story where every character, no matter how wicked, is doing their best. And let me tell you, it'll be worth it when I earn that Pulitzer Prize for Best Inner Monologue. I should have a lot of prizes for my best inner monologue. But see, sometimes even the villains are not the villains. So it's about trying to see, you know, I guess it's like a walk in somebody else's shoes before you judge them. It doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life. Toxic people do not belong in your life. But it says ultimately a happy story where every character, no matter how wicked, is doing their best. So you know what? In your story, you're allowed to pick and choose who you want in your story. So if the wicked do not get better, knock them out. You don't need that in your life. So the next card, Sanctuary. Good for you. Excuse me. It seems you've earned some time away from the chaos of life. It could be as small as a bubble bath or as big as a trip. Or maybe it's a small trip to a big bubble bath. I would like that. Or a normal sized trip to a tiny bubble bath. No. Or maybe you tripped and fell in someone's, in someone's bubble bath. That sounds more like me. Whatever it is, it's waiting for you with open arms. Just pick your favorite sanctuary and unplug for a bit, especially if a bath is involved. So, I always try to make these fit together. So there you go, Sanctuary. Time alone, story of my life. You are the creator of your story. You know, who belongs in it, which characters get erased and sent into character purgatory. That's what I call it. You know, I read a comic once about it was like little stick figure characters, like stick figures with the, you know, it was very cute. If I can find it, I'll show it to you and post it in the comments. But they were talking about how they got erased, deleted, and some of them got rewritten into different characters. Some of them became, 2 characters became 1 character. It was very cute, but it's kind of the inner dialogue, the inner monologue that we all have, you know. It's just the things we put in our story, the things that are removed from our story without our, you know, wanting it to be removed, the things that are removed from our story that we choose to remove, because you know what? There are times in the story where the villain gets its due. You know, and no matter how good the story, even a romance has a villain. You know, they just may not be running around with a knife, but well, unless that's the kind of romance you're writing, but, there's always that one person that tries to sabotage something. And you don't need that in your life. And, sometimes the sanctuary or getting away to think about everything can actually help kind of balance your thoughts. It can help you breathe and think. And, it can help you settle in to the things that are best for your life. This is the story of your life. There are always going to be the snakes with the flowers, but that doesn't mean every snake is bad. Not every snake bites. Maybe there's a vegetarian snake out there that doesn't like to eat mice. So, before you don't give someone a chance, give them a chance. Try to walk in their own shoes. If they're not responding and they refuse to just, kind of meet you halfway, then you know what? It's hard to kick people out of your life. It is not easy to walk away from people, but sometimes you have to for your own self-preservation. Sometimes you have to for your own well-being. It's a form of self-care and self-love. You don't deserve to be treated badly, so why would you keep someone in your story that treats you badly? Especially when they get chance after chance. Sometimes people just don't fit in your story. They might be a character that walks right through your story and then they're gone. And it's not a bad thing. Sometimes they're just meant to be there for just the right amount of time for you to learn the lesson that you need to learn. And it might be the same for you in other people's lives. If people disappear from your life and, you just kind of wandered into theirs, they may have learned the lesson they were meant to learn from you. So remember, not everybody that comes into our lives are going to stay in our life. But the ones that are meant to stay in our life will stay there. We're constantly bringing new people in. I am sure there are more people who will be entering my life soon. I don't know. I feel like I'm on a new adventure now. I'm learning to handle my depression a lot better now. And like I said, it's been a rough week, but anxiety is not my cup of tea. I don't think it's anybody's cup of tea, but I really don't get it. I seriously do not get it. And because I don't get it, I don't understand it. And because I don't get it often, I really don't understand it. So I feel like I've been tripping into somebody's bubble bath every single day because, I kind of get a hang of it, and then you're kind of like, oh, the bubble bath. And then you get out and you fall into something else. So there you go. Like I said, you never know what you're going to get with these videos, but it's also going to be very honest. I open my book so I can inspire others to heal, their stories. It took me a long time to heal mine, and to be honest with you, I don't want people to have to take that long. And by that I mean I just kept ignoring my story until it just started coming out in like volcanic eruptions, and it's terrible. I have a name that literally allows me to just make up things because it fits. And at one point I had named myself Shelsuvius. Now, Mount Vesuvius kind of erupted and killed a lot of people. I will not erupt and kill a lot of people, but I was killing my own spirit. And I was not giving myself a chance to live the life that I deserve, to live the life that I was meant to live. And as you find yourself slowly balancing and you find yourself kind of facing the hard things, it does get easier. It does get, the trauma, the pain from trauma, it kind of never goes away. It's like grief. But you learn how to deal with it. You learn how to live with it. And in this case, you learn how to use it to make you stronger. It's not about ignoring it and saying, well, I'm going to punch it in the face every time it pops up. No. Basically what you're doing is you're embracing it and you're healing it. You can't always punch things in the face to make it go away. Because sometimes you're either going to piss it off and it's going to come back with a vengeance, or it's going to punch you right back. And I spent a lot of time being punched by my trauma. I spent a lot of time being, fighting it off because it came back with a vengeance, until one day I decided I needed to heal this. And it took me a long time because, you're constantly fighting against control because you want to maintain control. You want to you want to be able to say who gets in and who doesn't get in. What feelings you're allowed to feel, what feelings you're allowed to show. But as baby sibling who is watching this now, as I said, reminded me on a very much needed drive when we were in Lake Havasu. And I say much needed because I really feel that we didn't find the post office that was a mile from the house we were staying at and ended up finding the one 18 miles away because I needed to hear that. And there's not a lot of people I listen to. Look at that. She's like hearting me all over the place on these comments. But we don't always want to listen to certain people, but there are certain people that aren't afraid to just literally punch you in the face with your own words, or just punch you in the face with what you need to hear. And when you're ready, you will start to heal. And you have to be ready. It's like with anything, because if you're not ready, it's not going to work. So when you're ready, you'll start to heal, and you'll know it. You'll reach out for the help that you might need. Like I said, I am a huge advocate for therapy. If, there's no shame in it. I've been through it. I absolutely got 100% help from it, but it was because I was ready. The first couple of times didn't work because people kept suggesting it, and I kept trying it, and I wasn't ready. As weird as it sounds, I wasn't ready to let go of the pain. And I think it was because it was all I ever knew. I was very attached to that pain because it was a part of me. From a very, 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 very early age, it was a part of me. And at some point, you just learn to let go. You start looking at the things around you. Sorry, my dad was running. You start looking at the things around you, your family, your parents. I have wonderful parents. And I started to see that it's like, what? I can lean on these people for strength. And even after my mom died, just the thought of her and the memory of her and, just calling on her in my heart, it helped heal me too, because I knew she was there looking after me. I know my dad's looking after me. My dad literally just texted me and said, "Are you okay?" Because, he doesn't really comment on things, but he looks at Facebook. And, like I said, I'm on Facebook because that's where all my family and friends are. Nobody else is allowed in there unless you know me. But he was just worried. And instead of lying and saying I'm fine, I told him, yeah, every day this week has been a guess at how it's going to be. I feel great when I'm doing these vibes, but the last 2 days when I've turned off the camera, I just, I went downhill. So again, this is the story of our life. It is the story of your life. It is the story of my life. This is the sanctuary where you go to find your peace, where you go to find your balance. This is the self-care part of your life. Again, I will post these in the comments, but don't be afraid to start the journey. It might hurt like hell, or it might be absolutely elating and freeing. Mine hurt like motherfucking shit, but it was also very freeing and very elating. And because of the steps that I took to get to that point where I was really truly healing, I got to this point where now I'm doing these videos and hoping, that they reach people. I have a lot of great feedback, wonderful feedback, and it makes me feel good because I'm really opening up a lot of myself when I do these. And like I said, I do it to inspire others to either share their story or heal from your story. You don't have to share anything you don't want to share. Okay? That's kind of what's great about therapy, because you're talking to someone that is not like deeply connected to you. You're talking to someone that's there to listen, that is a unbiased person that's not going to sit there and go, "Oh, I wish I could just hit that person for doing what they did to you," or, "I'd kill them," or "they'd be dead," or, and when my dad and my mom found out about stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, there was a lot of anger. Not at me, but there was a lot of, my dad was it was, you know, it's a very personal moment, and I'm, I hope my dad doesn't see this, because I don't want him to worry or anything, but my dad just hugged me and he held me. And the anger for the person that hurt me was just so big. Like, the bigger it got, the tighter the hug got. And if you're a parent of someone who's been hurt by someone, don't feel guilty. Please. If they, children, when they're young, especially when they're groomed very young, they learn to hide things. And I learned to hide things for a very, very long time. My mom never knew, and my mom was like a bloodhound, okay? My mom could sniff out lies like you would not believe. She never knew. My dad never knew. My parents told me when I was a kid, if anybody is inappropriate with you, they told me all the time, let us know. Probably because all those movies came out when I was a kid about kids being abducted or kids being, just stuff like that. And they did. They told me. But by then, because, you don't think about it starting so young. And I was very, very young. So they never knew. And they feel guilt. My mom felt guilty. And my dad, I think, still carries that guilt. It's not something we talk about often. But I did talk to him and told him I need to share my story because I need to help other people. And it took a while for him to finally agree because, they don't want to look like the bad guy. And I'll be honest with you, they're not the bad guy to me. They're everything to me. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. I love my parents because they kept me on this side of being a statistic. So my life was always two halves. There was The Secret, and then there was this great childhood, And I'm an only child, so, I adopt my siblings. Baby sibling is my cousin. Older sibling is my best friend. But, I owe them everything. And maybe that's sometimes why my mom's death hurt so much, because she was my strength for so long. I didn't have to lean on anyone else. I didn't have to lean on myself, because I had her, even when she didn't know. And my dad is the same. We are not really talkers on the phone. We are texters. I should call him, though, because that would be the right thing to do. But, I should call him once a week like I did with my mom. But, just, they were everything in my healing process. And, my dad is still very strong for me. He, I'm not gonna lie. I won the parent lottery. Okay. I know a lot of people think, oh, well, you're just blah, blah, blah. But I really did. And, it's not because I went through a trauma and they were there for me. It's just because they never knew about my trauma. And they loved me like I was the most magical thing to ever be born. We joke, we laugh. Sometimes on Friday nights we'd sit around and have happy hour in the house, just listen to music. And my dad would have some beer, my mom would have maybe some drinks. And I would just sit there and, when I was not old enough to drink, I would sit there and we would just talk. We would just sit there and enjoy each other's company. And, that to me is the greatest gift in the world, was to have two parents like that. Everything after that is a bonus. So, I'm not going to apologize for being emotional, because I'm saying that because I almost did. And I know baby sibling would be like, stop apologizing. But, I do thank you for bearing with me through this. I know this is a little bit long. But, sometimes things come out of you that are meant for other people to hear. And, it's not always what you want to hear. It's not always easy to hear it. But, those are healing tears. And they're also tears of gratitude for two amazing, freaking wonderful people. My mother would die if she knew. Well, my mom is dead. Sorry, bad pun. My mom would roll over if she knew how much I swore. She probably does, because, you know my beliefs. I know she's around here somewhere listening to me. But, yeah. I'm not sure if it bothers my dad, but I think he just knows that I have a potty mouth. And he loves me anyway. because he's my dad. I am the fruit of his looms. If he watches this, he's going to cringe because I say that in front of people and he's just like, stop it. But anyways, so trying to end this on a happy note. Remember, story of my life and sanctuary. You are in charge of the story of your life. And when the story of your life becomes a little too much, trip and fall into somebody's bubble bath, okay? Who knows? Who knows might be in that bubble bath? I know, right? Right? See? Gotta end it on a high note. Baby sibling, thank you for the kind words. I love you so much. Her and sibling know my story, obviously. But, you know, own your story. Don't be ashamed of your story. Because, you know what? As long as you're breathing, your story's not over yet. So, happy Friday, Junior. That's right, Friday, Junior. Happy Thursday Eve, or Friday Eve. Jesus, I cannot get this right. Happy Thursday, Friday Eve, Friday Junior. There. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. And I will talk to all of you later. Thank you, baby sibling. Okay, so I'm sending everybody big hugs that needs it. And you know what? Just remember, you are amazing. You are fucking amazing. So go out there and punch today in the face. And don't let it, if it tries to punch you back, duck. Have a great day.